Hey y'all, and welcome back to Raccoon Creek Homestead. Today is a little bit different. And by we I mean two of my little rooster friends and I are heading to a friend of mine's, and they are going to teach me how to send a rooster or other chicken to freezer camp or vacation to the frigid cold. That's kind of our nice kid-friendly way of saying that they're gonna be dinner. And I am nervous and about it, just the actual process. I don't like to hurt things, and so this will be interesting. But I'm also excited because I enjoy learning new things. I enjoy especially when it comes to a more sustainable way of doing things, because we will have meat birds again this spring. We got them last year, and the price to have them processed, I mean, that's literally double. Like, last year I got meat birds for 99 cents. It was at the end of the season, and they were marked down, so I got them for 99 cents. And then between that and the feed, I invested $5 a bird. So I was in for $50. And granted, I lost one. I'm pretty sure just a heart thing. Cornish crosses are not the most healthy of birds, heart-friendly of birds. I mean, they get the job done, but they're not a long-term. So if you're wanting laying hens, do not get those, because at the 8-week mark, you're kind of ready to put them out of their misery. They're kind of funny to watch them run, though. That just may be my sick, twisted sense of humor, but they waddle a lot. Anyway, and it was $5 a bird to process, which is fine, but 10 birds is $50. So my investment literally doubled. So instead of $50 for 10 birds, it was $100 for 9 birds, which, I mean, granted, passed, but, so, I mean, I guess it was $95, so I didn't have to pay that fee. But it was just kind of, I really feel like I can do that. It's the actual, that first step is what I'm real nervous about. And especially because, I really like these roosters. Well, I really like one of them. So we have 3 roosters, and it was Hoot, and Hoot got to stay. Hoot is our alpha rooster. And then there was Dinner, who, Dinner used to be mean. Dinner made a bad decision and picked me, and I just donkey kicked him. So he was fine after that, and we were friends. So I don't want to lose Dinner, but he is a freeloader. He's not providing anything for our farm, and that's kind of the mentality that you have to kind of get into if you want to do a meat animal. Is you got to know that balance of, I love them, and I want them to have a wonderful spoiled life, which my chickens definitely do. And that's kind of where that fine line. And then the other rooster, his name is Snuggles. He was Jeremy's pick when he was a chick. We didn't know that he was a boy. It was straight run. And he is ripping the feathers out of my ladies. I mean, I got the saddles for him, and they don't stay on. I don't know if he's taking it. One of them still has hers on. She loves it. She just runs around I swear she's skipping. But yeah, so he's got to go, because I can't risk the rest of my flock. And he's the only one that does it. I've sat out there and watched, and he is the only one. He is just a rough little guy. And I thought, okay, he's a teenager, he'll grow out of it, and he didn't. So he's going because he's just too mean. And I don't even think it's claws. I think he just gets a mouthful of feathers. Anyway, but that's enough of that graphic description. So, look, that's going to be the only one. I've had quite a bit of coffee today. But I'm almost there. I'm probably not going to show any of the actual process because it's just, I'm learning and I want to be able to focus on the task at hand. But I will probably come back after. I'm not going to lie, I may cry over Hoot. Or not Hoot, Hoot's at home. I may cry over dinner because like me and that rooster, we have like this bond, this connection. And we'll see how it goes. So I will see you all after. Wish me luck. Okay, so, I forgot to mention before, it's 16 degrees outside. That's Fahrenheit. Well, it's cold. So we took out 2 chickens or 2 roosters, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a big psychological game to do what you gotta do. And yeah, it's all mental. And if you can do that part, the rest is cake. Which I'm glad that the hard part is in the beginning. Just for, the simple process of, you have, you did it, you're done, you're good. The rest is, like I said, cake. The actual, like, cutting and slicing, it kind of felt like a normal day in the kitchen, except the feathers everywhere. So yeah, aside from the actual step 1, the feathers are the worst part. And we didn't, the way that they do it there is they just kind of basically like skin it. But yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised. It really wasn't as bad as I thought. And I did learn something too. So the way that they do it is they basically like separate. Like it's not a slice and like bleed out kind of thing. I did learn there that it takes 15 seconds to do it that way. That's a long time, and that just seems just awful. I like the way that they did it. It was just a one quick slice and done. Once you rip off the Band-Aid. But yeah, it was a very quick, clean, not as bloody as I thought, so that part's nice. I mean, there was some, like the splatter. Don't wear good clothes. I mean, kind of, you would think, but like, it's more the getting it from, yeah, I'm just not going to go there. Anyway, I am pleasantly surprised at how well that went. Shout out to Will and Ann from Bartlett Hollow that taught me how to do that. And, well, definitely worth the skill to have, especially, I said I wasn't going to mention it, but especially considering the fact that there are, at least here in Indiana, there are 2 different Walmarts that I've seen just kind of from talking to people. Plainfield Walmart had no chicken. Greencastle Walmart had no chicken. I have chicken. So that's just something else to kind of think of. And there's nothing more gratifying and empowering than knowing that I can grow my own food. Like meat, protein, bird. Like, it's not just, I grew some veggies, which I'm not going to lie. I think that growing vegetables is more difficult and more time consuming and more stressful than like chickens, at least. But yeah, so there's that. I mean, it's something to consider. We're definitely going to do meat birds again this year. And the way that we had them done last year was whole birds. And they took up a lot of room in the freezer. The way that I learned to do it today is to basically take the breasts and the thighs and the legs. And then you don't have to mess with the guts and stuff. And the wings, there's just not enough to mess with, like, for the wings, in my opinion. So I may want to do a couple more birds, just for the simple fact that they won't take up as much room in the freezer if I like piece them out. that'll be more of a talking to Jeremy and kind of more of a space scenario. But I'm very pleased with how well today went. And I mean, again, it's all mentality. If you don't think you can do it, fine. Like, that is perfectly okay. For us, it was all about that self-sustainability and being able to just know that it's another skill. You know, every year I wanted to learn a couple skills, and that might seem kind of weird to some people, but that was the one that I wanted to learn this year. I feel like it was super important to know. And like I kind of said beforehand, that it's going to save us a pretty good chunk of money, because granted, yeah, $5 probably doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you have 10 birds, well, now that's $50. And I mean, we just did 2. And I mean, even learning, I mean, it took a couple hours, but again, that was learning, and it was cold and whatnot. And I mean, if you did, well, let's see, if you did 1 bird every, we'll say 15 minutes if you're new. That's 4 birds in an hour. So you could do 12 birds in 3 hours. That's basically a morning. Like, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, yeah, that's the way to go. If you can do it at home, do it at home. Which, I mean, I think that's anyway, but I mean, let's see, for $50, that's a lot of feed right now. I mean, that's almost, what I said earlier, double what I would have spent. But I am, when I get home, I am going to weigh out how much meat we did get, because they were beefy roosters, and it's kind of funny because they're not my biggest rooster. There's a feather floating around in here. But yeah, so I will, and I'll probably just post it on the screen here. I took a couple pictures during, like, because he kept saying, like, wow, that's a healthy bird. And I'm like, well, how do you know? I mean, it was very educational. I asked a lot of questions, especially some that may have been, like, what? But that's how I learn. The only stupid question is a question not asked for the majority of the time. But yeah, like, he did a really nice job. It was a lot of, I'm not the best teacher. I'm more of a move out of my way and let me do it. And he did a really nice job of letting me get in there. Like, he did the first one and showed me with the first one. It's definitely nice to have 2. Because he showed me with the first one, and then I did the second one. And my only downfall is I have the upper body strength of a toddler. And some of the things you kind of needed a little bit more of that brute strength. I don't know, brute strength, man strength, arm strength, whatever. So that is definitely something that when it is processing day, I'm definitely going to need, like, Jeremy there, just for the simple fact that I'm just not strong enough. Could I do it? Yeah. Is it going to take a while? Yeah, probably. But we'll get there. And it's a learning process, and kind of like what he said, he's like, you know, it takes you a half hour, you know, for the first 4 or 5 that you ever do, and then the next time it'll take you 25 and then 20, and you'll get faster. So I could do them in probably 10-15 minutes, depending on, you know, and the fact that we had roosters too. So, and they were, I don't know, they were probably 10-11 months old. So that was also, they're a little tougher, a little bit different of a factor of it. But when we do meat birds, we're going to do the Cornish cross. He said, like, that's what they're bred for. They're bred for big meat and quick, easy. They'll be young, so they won't be as tough, which I don't think they're really that tough, but we'll see when we eat them. I think that's pretty much it. But like I said, I will probably, after I weigh it, I'll probably come back and say, like, hey, this is what all we got, and da-da-da-da-da. I will see you guys back when I get home and have everything weighed out, and I will set it out and go from there. See you in a second. Okay, so I'm home and I have rinsed off the chicken, and this is our, oh, it's backwards. So it's 4 pounds, 9.3 ounces. That is not too shabby for 2 roosters that I mean, and that's good. I mean, they did. And I mean, even like that's a nice size breast for a chicken. What you get in the store, think about what you're eating. That's not okay in my book to have something like that. Oh, and ignore my stools up. The vacuum is running. But yeah, so that's what I did today. That's a new skill that I have learned. Please ignore the messy house behind you, and I will see you again next time. Bye.